Touhou Luna Nights is a Metroidvania platsplorer set in a fake Scarlet Devil mansion as part of a game orchestrated by Remilia. And if none of that makes any sense to you, don't worry. You need to know little about Touhou in order to enjoy Luna Nights, as most of the information required will be given to you and inferred from throughout the game. It doesn't hurt to know the main characters and their motivations, but speaking as a very casual fan of the series, I feel confident saying you can go in blind and find a fun game. As an exploration-based title, Luna Nights offers you pretty much what you'd expect from the genre in terms of environment: castle halls, subterranean caverns, a clock tower, to name a few. Each area is very distinct in design and clearly broken up, even color-coordinated on the map screen. Until you find a color-coded key to unlock magic doors, usually right after the boss fight, you'll be locked out of progressing into new stages. This does make the game more linear than some might like, but you do have free reign in each level individually. Luna Nights isn't too hard outside of a few rooms right before a couple of bosses, though the extra area brings an added but manageable difficulty spike. Saving and restoration are paired right before a boss fight, acting as a good checkpoint, but throughout the map are usually separated in their own rooms. Phones save, vending machines heal. Make sure to throw the cans away. Attacking is easy. Sakya throws a handful of knives with each button press. Every attack uses MP, which slowly fills back up when not being used, but most of the time the best way to gain it back is through grazing enemy projectiles. When time is moving, getting almost hit by attacks grants you health and MP back in decent amounts. Sakya's knives aren't the only weapons you'll find throughout the castle, as there are numerous sub-weapons. There are a couple of variations on the knife, as well as a chainsaw, and near the end of the game, actually, the Lost Holy Sword is a great tool for backtracking, as it'll not only auto-target enemies, but the fake walls hiding secret rooms, giving you more items to find. Movement is something Luna Nights does very well. At your base level, you have your usual platforming controls: left and right, crouching, a single jump, and a short descending hover, but with item upgrades can be expanded pretty quickly and have offensive uses. The double jump is a standard game move, but Sakya does so by throwing knives straight down, which do function as a normal attack. The slide is also stock fare, but in addition to getting through tight spaces, it's one of the best attacks you have against stationary bad guys, that shoots slightly above crouching height. Slide repeatedly to victory. There's also a dash, but you don't get that until way late in the game, and it never feels like you need it during normal map traversal. You're quick enough. Once you have these abilities, combining with time manipulation unlocks your full potential. Now, I will add in quickly, there are ways to exploit the game's movement without messing with time at all. I've seen people do the bosses with neither slow nor stop, and others go crazy with flying across rooms without ever looking at the watch, but the game is designed to use it. Still, would like to clarify you don't need to. Sakya begins the game with her time stop locked, but can still slow down time for around 3 seconds by holding down the attack button and releasing it. Very early on, you find Nitori's shop, and get a stopwatch that gives you back time stop and gives you a new meter to keep track of, the time meter. When time has stopped, the time meter decreases steadily and drains faster with movement. You can also use time to throw additional knives and sub-weapons which won't drain from your MP, leaving you free to attack from both supply pools. Grazing at this point, however, only grants you additional time, no HP or MP. If you're having trouble, don't forget to slow down time, which does not drain from your time meter, and everything else works like normal. Tying this back to movement. Once you obtain a specific item that allows you to jump on time-frozen knives as improvised platforms, you have free reign over the environment. With precise knife placement, you can jump over enemies and attacks, climb to new areas, and maneuver through obstacles effortlessly. However, not everything freezes during a time stop. One of the game's gimmicks is the different auras that enemies, objects, and projectiles have, and all of them deal with stopping time. Some move only in frozen time, some move backwards, and some move regardless. A couple of the rooms in the Scarlet Devil Mansion play hard on these, and can be annoying to go through more than once. So thankfully there are warp gates which give you fast travel. Now combining all of this is key to playing the best parts of the game, the boss fights. There's one at the end of each area, and as you'd expect, they're all established Touhou characters. Each has their own style of fighting, and no shortage of projectiles. And while Maid and Marissa can be rushed through with brute force and simple attack dodging, I feel Patchouli represents the turning point that you have to sit down and memorize attack patterns. How can I dodge this? Do I need to stop time here, or just slow it down? Do I even need to do that? It can be hard when the music's pumping and you're running low on MP, but just remember to be calm and calculated with your grazing, and you can make it through. On my first run through the game, I was stuck on Remilia because I was trying to react to whatever she was throwing at me. I went back to grind away at common enemies nearby in order to level up, but even then I was still having a hard time. When it came to record footage and restart the game, I took a few lives to understand how she worked and what I'd need to do in each situation, and very quickly I found myself good to go, gaining more than enough HP and MP back. Reimu though. She's a bit of a tough one. Her first phase is fine enough, but man, did I drop the ball during Phase 2. It took more than a few tries, but eventually you do find a groove and just stick to it, resulting in victory. And a lot of the footage previously presented was me in a semi-controlled panic, constantly using time manipulation when I really didn't need to, usually to get a few more knives out. Thankfully, the boss rush mode unlocked after the extra ending gives me a second chance to record a better understanding of how to fight. Visually, the game is good, a consistent art style and good pixel graphics. Most of the game's regular enemies are well designed and flow with the art direction, even if some are a bit goofy in concept. All of the characters look great, and there are a number of details in the animations that can be missed during attacks. It's all very well done. The music is a treat. Arranged by Peposoft, I'm sorry if I'm mispronouncing that, the soundtrack includes a healthy supply of good Touhou remixes. I'm still not familiar with all of them, but there were a few that popped out instantly, and for the ones I didn't know, I looked up the originals. It's hard to screw up Touhou music, but it's not easy to make a coherent soundtrack that stands out on its own, and that's what we have here. Touhou Luna Nights is a good game. Great even. I'd say it serves as a suitable starting point if you want to try to play some Metroidvanias, and if you're already into the genre, it might function as a gateway to the Touhou series. It's not groundbreaking, but it's highly enjoyable and accomplishes what it sets out to do, so an easy recommendation from me. Thank you for watching.